ideas to explain the authority of government and how it is limited to the people's say.
Thomas Hobbes, born April 5th, 1688, believed in a natural society. He lived by the understanding of the social contract. His book, The Revier, was written based on the social contract theory and how he believed it was what society should live by.
Charles I was born November 19, 1600. He believed in the divine right theory, so he believed himself to be a divine right ruler. He was also the ruler of England during the time of the English Civil War.
Oliver Cromwell was born April 25th, 1594. He was a military commander during the Civil War who fought Charles I. He was very good, and Parliament backed him up very highly. And after the Civil War, he gained power and became a sort of king, although he wasn't exactly called king.
James II was born October 14, 1633. During his reign, he fought Parliament for power because they didn't want to give him the power he wanted. So he began. It was pretty much the end of the English Civil War, but he was still fighting for the power he wanted. Towards the end of his reign is when they drafted the English Bill of Rights, but it still had not been signed yet.
William the Marrier started their reign in 1689 and ended it around 1702. During their time, the Bill of Rights was signed. That was started during James's reign. But the peace, they really ran into a lot of peace between the Crown and Parliament during this time because they agreed on multiple things, and with the Bill of Rights, society through the Parliament didn't have any issues or any problems, and they worked well together.
John Locke was born on August 29, 1632. He is considered to be the father of liberalism. Liberalism is pretty much the same as constitutionalism. The government is run by the people. Everything the government does is through the people. With his theories, he pretty much influenced the U.S. Constitution.
Capitalism, which is used now in Russia, but was used back in the 1590s in the Dutch countries. It's really social economic where people run it, and because of that, there's no constitutionalism involved in it because there is no power ruling over society. It's a free market, so people can decide what they want to sell and what they want to buy and what they want to trade.
Parliamentarianism. Some modern examples are England, Sweden, and Japan. Parliamentarianism is pretty much a form of government where the people run it. The people elect a prime minister through their parliament, which is pretty much the U.S.'s Congress. And since they elect their prime minister, their parliament, they pretty much control their own future.
Roundheads were the supporters of the Parliament during the English Civil War from 1642 to 1651. They believed in power to the people and power to Parliament, which was the government of the people that was close to the crown.
The New Model Army. It was pretty much Cromwell's army. It's also partly Parliament's army because the Parliament supported Cromwell. During the English Civil War, the New Model Army fought for Parliament and Cromwell. They fought for power with the royal family and the monarchy. They fought for power.
The Quakers from 1770s, they believed in the abolishment of slavery and freedom of people, so they were basically liberalists because they believed in equality of people and that they didn't think anybody had the right to be enslaved because they were equal, and so no one should be higher above ordering someone else around. That's their basic belief.
Liberalism, it pretty much supports the idea of the Quakers. It was created in the 1800s. Because the Quakers believed in equality, which was pretty much what liberalism was. And because of that, it played a significant role in many constitutions that were then created around the world.
The Glorious Revolution was the unification of English crown and parliament between the years of 1688 and 1689. During this time, the draft of the Bill of Rights was created, and it was the way that both the royal family and the people could work together in government to create that better government that we all wanted.
The English Civil War lasted from 1642 to 1651. It was pretty much a war between the crown or the royal family and parliament, because the crown wanted power, more and more power, but parliament would not give them that power. And after the war, it pretty much created a commonwealth, which is pretty much just like freedom to the people.
The Petition of Rights. It was created in 1628. It was the understanding of civil liberal rights, and it gave restrictions to the crown and parliament on what they could do or what they could order the society to do, because society now had its own ability to use its own rights to make their own decisions and run themselves.
An example of interregnum, which is what this is right here, is between 1688 and 1689, when it was the period between the last ruler and when William and Mary were going to come into power. So it's pretty much a period of change between elections of rulers in a country.
The English Bill of Rights, which was signed and put into office in 1689, it would distribute the power between the crown and parliament. So the powers of the government itself was then split into a part of the parliament, which is power of the people, and power of the family, of the royal family to run the country. But it also established certain freedoms and rights for the citizens, such things like freedom of speech, election, petition, or arms, which benefited the nation because everybody was more equal and didn't have one person ruling over 100,000 people.
Another example of constitutionalism, or an event that represents constitutionalism, is the creation of the Indian Constitution in 1947. It created the Indian government because there really wasn't one at the time. And when the Constitution was created, it pretty much gave the Indian people freedoms, rights, and the freedom that it mostly gave the people was the freedom of assembly, so that they could protest when the government wasn't doing something they liked.
The Commonwealth, which was started really in the 1650s, it was a republic, and it was the social chances for society. It was where society could, from a lower standpoint, go into government and be a part of a bigger thing. It allowed the lower class to gain class through the means of parliament.
The Long Parliament was created in the November of 1640. It's part of the Parliament of England. It's not all of Parliament. It's pretty much part of Parliament that passes all the bills. Like everything that you want to be passed has to go through the Long Parliament.
The Restoration, which was a union under Charles II, began in 1660. At the time, after civil wars and reforms and all that stuff, England was in, I want to say ruins, because their land wasn't as good as it used to be, and society was in disarray. And under Charles II, he established this restoration, which was where they restored the land and they restored society and they built things back up so that it could become the great nation it was before the issues ran into.
The Toleration Act. It was signed in the year 1689, and it pretty much accepted all religions. It allowed people to believe and follow whatever religion they wanted to. There were no restrictions to any type of beliefs. It just allowed people to be followers of any religion that they wished to be.
Habeas corpus, which was first introduced in 1305, it was really brought up truly in government and other trials and things like that in the 1600s. It was really where you were tried for your crimes, and whenever you did something wrong, you went to trial instead of just being guilty, where someone has to find enough evidence to prove you and that you did the crime, and otherwise you were innocent and you could walk away. So it saved a lot of people's lives, but then it made a whole lot of other people's lives a whole lot harder.
Some examples of modern day constitutionalism in the world. The United States is one of them. When the United States was created in 1776, after we signed the Declaration of Independence, that's when constitutionalism started in the United States. They have each person, each state in the U.S. has individual representatives, which means like each person, they vote through a single person. Each state votes through a single person to elect their president or elect Congress members. There's also popular sovereignty, so the president and other congressional members, they're not elected because of other congressional members electing them. They're elected based on what the people want in the country. The United States is basically run on a federalist system, which is pretty much democracy. So everything done in the government is run through the people.
The United Kingdom is also an example of constitutionalism today, but it took time to develop. They didn't begin with the understanding of a people power or people in power, so they started off with the royal family. But then eventually they broke into the royal family, which was the crown, and parliament, which was the government of the people. And they had kind of checks and balances that is what is in the United States today, that kind of makes sure that no one gives too much power or uses too much power and keeps everybody in line. And they have an uncoded constitution, which is where there are things that are not explicitly said inside the